Hello, this is Jerry Beck, and we're watching Pink Arcade. Now, you may not know that Greg asks me to, what cartoons do you want to do? When I was looking at the titles, it was very, very difficult to pick cartoons, so I decided I was going to pick the first and the last of the cartoons that they made for the all-new Pink Panther show in 1978. That was a Saturday morning show, and they did a whole mess of new Pink Panther cartoons, all of which were released theatrically by United Artists. Some of them before they were shown on television, some of them shown on TV before they were released theatrically, and all that. So this one, according to my own research, was the first one that was released theatrically by United Artists from this batch. Now, it may not have been the first cartoon made for TV, and there's a case to be made for Pink Pictures, but this is the one that United Artists released first back in, let's see now, in September 1st, 1978, which I think would have been before it was shown on TV. So if you went to the movies at that point, you might have seen this cartoon, directed by Sid Marcus, of course. And there's the Pink Panther. It's spot gag cartoons in an arcade. There's that little boy they use. I call it the little Dr. Seuss boy that the Patty Freeling would use all the time. I like when the Rock'em Sock'em robot punches the panther. I like the animation of that. Now, here's a cartoon where you actually have to look for moments like that, little drawings like that. Here comes that punch. That's good. That was good animation right there. And Panther's the fall guy in this cartoon. But the thing is, even if these were made for TV, even if these were made for TV with the thought they were going to be shown theatrically, they're pretty good. Their cartoons in 1978 were for television were pretty bad, horrifyingly bad. And the Patty Freelings, I don't know who was paying attention besides me, but the Patty Freeling cartoons for TV, even the adventure stuff they did, and certainly Mr. Jaws, were much better than any other TV cartoons at the time. There was actual cartooning going on. I like that they have the little man. I call him the little white man in this one because he was flesh colored for some reason. It's great. There's a lot of great design. What's great about the Pink Panther, especially during this period, is the fact that they don't all take place in the same universe, meaning that sometimes he's out in the woods, sometimes he's in the city. In a case like this cartoon, he's in an arcade where there's a new layout for every scene here, and that's, again, this sounds silly and obvious, but in 1978 for television, that was not normal. This was a really, really bad time for animation. Another good thing about this particular one is the character is actually drawn on model, but I guess you could say that about almost any of these, to be honest. But you got to give them points for that. This whole bowling sequence with the bowling balls, this looks like Don Williams' animation, and he was the one really, really good old-timer cartoonist at this point, still doing animation for these cartoons. And here, this whole bowling sequence, if you just look at it, you just look at the drawings of the Panther and the drawings, the poses that he gives him, this is just, classic Pink Panther stuff. And, thank goodness they still did that at this point. But this certainly was the waning days of the studio. And in fact, by this period, Chuck Jones had started making new cartoons for Warner Brothers for TV, and I believe Freeling was being courted to do the same, and that of course led to Freeling going back to Warner Brothers again in the 1980s, and coming back with Bugs Bunny. And Patty Freeling, as you may or may not know, kind of became the beginning of Marvel animation. I always find that fascinating, considering how big Marvel is now. But Marvel's animation started with Patty Freeling, and literally the studio became Marvel Animation. Oh, that wacky Pink Panther getting stuck in the claw machine. Good animation on the arcade manager there. A lot of gags. A lot of stuff. I think you can tell I've run out of things to say now. But I will say that it's been an incredible pleasure to work on these and to rewatch all of these Pink Panther cartoons. It's part of the history of animation. And this is sort of the end of that golden era as the Panther runs off into the distance, going back to the city. This is Jerry Beck, and thank you for listening to me